I've been sick. Just first day I've had a voice. Through the last.
She says she sounds a lot better.
Is that what she said?
That's what she says. She says this is much improved.
It is.
We only got a couple items, so
Yeah.
get off easy.
They got married, like 42, 43.
Good evening. I'm going to call the meeting of Mayor and Council to order on Tuesday, January 27th, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you'd all rise for the invocation by Councilwoman Dr. Grassett.
Heavenly Father, we ask for your wisdom and guidance as we meet on this icy, snowy night. May we have clarity of thought, unite to serve a common purpose, and demonstrate our love for the city we serve in all of our discussions and decisions that are made this evening. Keep us all safe as we journey home, and in your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. If you may stand for pledge of allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated. Are there any changes to the agenda for tonight's meeting?
No, sir, there are not.
All right, just a reminder to you, council, following our regular session, there will be an executive session. At this time, I'd like to ask for a motion to approve the regular meeting minutes from Tuesday, January 13th council meeting. Those minutes have been provided in your packet. If there are no questions or comments, I'll accept the motion at this time.
Councilman Holland, I make that motion.
Motion from Councilman Holland. Is there a second?
Councilwoman Grassett, I second the motion.
And a second from Councilwoman Grassett. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Those minutes pass unanimously. At this time, let's call forward Chief Kraft, a special announcement.
Good evening.
Good evening.
How's everybody doing today?
Good.
Cold.
So I'm going to try to make this as quick as I can, 10 or 15 minutes. I'm just kidding. So it really is my distinct pleasure to be able to announce formally now that the City of Seaford Police Department did go through the entire CALIA process, and that's our Commission on Accreditation for Law Enforcement for National Gold Standard Accreditation back in November. And our accreditation manager, who's also our newly promoted lieutenant, recently anyway, was able to take us through and get us over the hurdle. And she's holding something here I would like to be able to present and show today. Nice. And this is our formal certificate of accreditation for national accreditation. And this has been a journey, really a long journey since 2019, actually. And we do have a few slides we'd like to go through to acknowledge what the benefits are and the purpose of it, and some appreciation to those that were involved in it, including the council, mayor, and city manager. We went through this process and got formally approved on November 15th. We were waiting for this so that we could have something to display for the community and staff. So CALIA is the Commission on Accreditation for Law Enforcement Agencies. As I said, it is the gold standard. There's only really a handful of agencies statewide that have this accreditation standard. There's a law now that says every agency has to be state accredited. We've been state accredited since 2020, as you'll see. And this involves the independent review of our policies, our practices, and our operations within our department by agencies from out of state that are affiliated with the commission. And it focuses on accountability, transparency, and continuous improvement. There's constant change, and you really do have to stay up on top of it. And this process allows us to be able to do that. And it strengthens our officer safety and professionalism, which is extremely important. As you see around the country now, there's a lot of different issues going on, and we need to be able to provide our officers with the most updated training possible. It builds community trust, and it also reduces risk and liability for our city and for our department. This is our journey. We started accreditation in November of 19, achieved it in November of 2020. The lower left picture there is our very first on-site accreditation with the accreditation manager for the state at the time, and the picture between myself and Lieutenant Little. Jason Sterner was the first accreditation manager, and that's the team of folks there to the left there that were the on-site assessors from up and down the state when we got that. And to the right, as you can see, that's the actual executive director and chairman for CALEA. They're a little bit taller than Valerie and I, as you can tell. I think they were like 7 foot tall, I kid you not.
Surely.
The work behind the badge, we wanted to highlight. This is like just an example of one of the trainings that we did. It's a comprehensive policy, modernization, our department-wide training and compliance, continuous documentation and review. You can say you do it, but if you don't document it and provide the proofs, there's no evidence that you did it. And also collaboration with our staff, our civilian and sworn. On-site inspection, this is just an example of us highlighting the resources that the mayor, city council, and city manager have afforded us the opportunity to purchase and to acquire, to be able to provide services to our community. And we wanted to showcase that. And if you look up just above the middle of the building there, you'll see something that's the drone. That's kind of small, but it's there, and it does a great job for us. So it's an independent review from the assessors. They did, I can't remember how many interviews they did, Valerie, but it was 40, at least 40 or 50 interviews. Interviews with officers, staff, city leadership, community members, and that's the static display. This review was held in Jacksonville, Florida, the week of November 12th. And Valerie and I went before. This is a panel of the commissioners here. I mean, there's a lot of agencies standing in the back there watching you, and they're drilling you on all of your policies, your practices, your standards, operations, administration. And it's really something to go through. And we did extremely well. And we did get a unanimous vote on that. And the benefits, obviously, is clear contemporary policies, enhanced officer safety, consistent training, increased morale and pride, being able to walk in knowing that you meet all of these standards. And only a few other agencies have achieved it. And then this is just some more benefits for our community, as we talked about. The stronger trust. We really do need to focus on trust and legitimacy and transparency. And this is going to prompt an annual report you'll be seeing probably in the next couple months. It's going to be extremely comprehensive, and I think it'll give our community comparisons for crime stats from 23, 24, 24, 25, increase and decrease, and you'll see a significant, I think, progress that we've made over the years. And the benefits, once again, legal and financial risk, reduced, stronger positions for litigation and insurance matters, enhanced eligibility for grants, and it is the national benchmark for professional law enforcement agencies. And this was truly a team effort. It's not just our administration. Our accreditation manager did a fantastic job, but it's every single member of our sworn and civilian staff there, including yourselves, because it takes funding to be able to meet the requirements for CALEA. So thank you all for that. And looking ahead, this is every 4 years. This isn't a one and done. This is continuous. They actually do an off-site inspection every year. We have to meet these requirements on a regular basis. Their compliance reviews, we'll do a full one where they'll come back on site again in 2029. And continued dedication to excellence in public safety is our goal. And then that's the end. And if you have any questions, or you can get a picture with the accreditation manager.
Let's give him applause.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Are there any questions or comments from council? Okay, good.
Congratulations.
Yep. Our deputy chief here, he was shot tonight. He's a supporter.
Come on down.
Congratulations, Chief. Quite the achievement. Long time in the making, so thank you for your dedication to get that accomplished. Is there anyone here this evening for public comment?
No, there's no one here for public comment.
Do we have any correspondence?
No, sir, we do not.
Keep moving to new business number 1, and I believe Mr. Charles Kessler's in the house. Come on up. Price is right.
Okay, so, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, wow. My name's Charles Kissler, I'm the Executive Director of the Help Initiative. And, so Charles, you remember the movie, Blues Brothers?
I do.
Yeah, remember when they were saying, hey, we're gonna get the band back together?
Yes.
Yeah, and I remember in the church, he says, I can see the light.
Do you see the light?
It's all about this picture right here. Right, so,
Appreciate you leading with that.
yeah. So we, we've got some history here, obviously. I'd like the Chief Operating Officer to come up and speak to the briefing, at least the first couple of slides, and I'll take the back end, the hard leverage side of requirements for this. But Betha Rojas will take the,
Hello.
Good evening.
I'm Betha Rojas. So I'm going to go through the beginning of the slide. It's not moving? Oh, there it is. All right. Go back. Okay. So we are Help Initiative. I'm Betha Rojas. I'm the Chief Operation Officer. This is what we did before when we were in Seaford. We installed 1,100 LED light bulbs in the communities, door by door, and we did a whole saving of $32,800 for Seaford, just in Seaford, and this was in a range of 1 to 2 years. We were able to save that much electricity just by changing a light bulb. So we're back again with more programs trying to help Seaford. So this is what our objectives are. We're trying to improve public safety. Again, we're able to go back into the neighborhoods we were before with the guidance of the Chief Kraft of the neighborhoods that need more security, more safety. We're also here to help lower their electricity burden with the HEC program that we will enter the homes and change all the light bulbs to LED, provide different services like aerators, low flow shower heads. Also, we will be able to provide the lights outside as well, and also solar lights as well. We're able to provide those with our lights program. We also provide education. With education, we'll do the Smart 911, which a lot of people don't know about, but it's very helpful because in any emergency, they can access all of your health issues that you have. First responders can have access to that, and it'll be faster for them to figure out what's going on with the person who is at the home. Also, we'll do the complete a medical prescription card. We'll start it up for them, but they're able to finish it with all their medications, and we'll put that on their refrigerators. Also, we've worked with an emergency evacuation plan. A lot of people don't have that at home. When there's an emergency, they don't know where to go, where to meet people, and we're helping with that as well. And we're working on a future senior roll call service, which is just contacting our senior populations just to see how they're doing, their wealth, how they feel, any issues that they have. I think a lot of the senior populations don't, I saw that, our senior population don't have families around that get that guidance and helping through. So that's what we're also working that in Newcastle. Correct? Yes, we're going to start working in Newcastle, and we also want to bring it here in Seaford. So this is a new one, which is the 4, which is build. It's a referral system. There's a lot of programs that people don't know that there is in the state of Delaware. And what we're trying to do is bring them all together and give it them when we're in the house. Give them all if they qualify for. So if they qualify for weatherization, if they qualify for the heating repair replacement program, they qualify for the HEC program, the one that we're working with the lights program. We would like to have all those programs and just give them to the clients as information for them if they need these assistance. Also, working with our faith communities as also is a big help for us. We've worked with a lot of the faith communities here in Seaford, going to the communities and having them show us where their affiliates live, and we're able to go into their community space and give them all the information that we have and sign them up for these programs there as well. And also increase neighborhoods engagement. That's one of our biggest ones. We do Facebook, we do Instagram, we do our website, trying to showcase all of our programs that we currently have. And our last one is create jobs. We are working with the Delaware Labor Department. We have a grant that we're able to have interns come in and work with us. So we would like to have interns from Seaford, apprentices from Seaford, help us in these programs. And we're able to grow them and move them on in our help, and then have them for 3 to 6 months, and then move on if they want to do any apprenticeship. And it's all paid through the Department of Labor. And the last portion from me, which will be our benchmark. So we will be able to provide a performance benchmark. So we have a target of 3,000 people in Seaford that we can work with, and starting January through, well, March, February, March, and we'll give you this report that shows you each how many we have left to finish in a quarterly basis. The next portion? You're next. Yes, you are. That's it. There you go.
All right, so this is, first it's, we're proposing this, right? So we got to start somewhere. So this is the last week of January. So we look at this timeline very seriously, like we did with the performance benchmarks. The table that you saw came right out of ARPA and what we were giving to the governor on a quarterly basis. I want to try and give that to you on a monthly basis so you can see how many residents we're touching. And what we're trying to do is use an energy efficiency program in a larger context to be able to build trust, as the chief of police indicated being one of the most important things, within a neighborhood. And so we've branded this around Project Safe Neighborhoods because we think that this type of approach, similar to what we did with the Lights On program, will tremendously help the resident reduce energy burden, but also be qualified if they are income eligible for up to a one-time $300 credit. A one-time $300 credit, right? So 2 funds have been set up. Part of what we shared with the city was a Delaware Energy Fund, and Delmarva set up a Delaware, Customer Relief Fund, right? And both residents, if eligible, are entitled to that one-time $300 credit, plus over $200 in energy efficiency measures, plus all the education that we're providing to be able to help them be safer, okay? So what we did here on the timeline is give you a sense of starting today, asking for a vote, no cost to the city, right? No cost to the city. We're looking for some things, space where we can stage some equipment, because it's going to be tough for us to carry a lot of this in like we did previously during our last time here. The very first step, and Charles, I told you this, the customer service side of this, finding those people are probably the most vulnerable. That would be priority number one for us. And being able to go in and deliver, we have a team of 16 people. Be able to deliver and come into this city in a big way to be able to get those services to them. Not only get them to them, but then to measure the impact of them over the course of the next several months of paying their utility bill, right? So that's the first thing. The open street concept is a tough one for us. So we deal in 3 different focus areas. We deal in a concentrated area like apartment complexes, most problematic. The larger one is an organized kind of a community-focused area, which would be manufactured home communities or mobile home parks as you know them. And then the last one is open streets. In this context, it's an open street. We need a geo-fenced area so we know where, and you indicated this, Charles, where people we know are definitely have in homes that are definitely energy inefficient and problematic within the context of criminal activity. That's where we want to go, right? So that would be one area we would want to concentrate in February. Okay, so communities, faith-based organizations, I invited Pastor Ross here because he's a man that unifies things, right? So we want to also bring in that sense of unification into these neighborhoods as we're doing this simple thing with a simple light bulb, right? And then, of course, jobs, and reporting them, right? So you could see the timelines, again, proposed, but we'll get stronger in terms of being able to nail down by week or bi-weekly, kind of things. All right, how do I do this next slide? Okay. All right, this is where I strong-arm you. No cost, but, so I need the chief. I need data. I need crime data, right? Because what we want to do is what we did in a similar way in Milford with a case study around how much could we impact criminal activity, contribute to it over a period of 12 months, because it captures all 4 seasons. If we could do that, that'll create a playbook for what we want to do with the rest of the state. Because what you here is a template for us. We want to repurpose this template through other towns and cities within the state of Delaware. And it seems appropriate that it start here in Seaford. Right? A lot of smart people on the first responder side. And I think of, Matt, our days with the Citizens Police Academy, but you got CERT there, right? You got Citizens Emergency Response Teams. You got a lot of good people in the communities, in the neighborhoods that really would participate in something if we could put that coalition of people together to be able to do more by these neighborhoods. But the expertise lies with the fire department and EMT when it comes to that educational piece in the home, right? That young lady right there, right? So this customer service piece and how we get this off the ground is really going to set the tone for how we do the rest of this program over the next couple of months. So I'm really anxious to be able to identify those. What I heard was 180 people a month. I think I got that number down somewhere on my notes, right? So we could do that. Maybe that'd be a crazy, crazy cool day for us. We need a staging area. We can work through, there's got to be somebody. I could put some heavy lift on Pastor Ross to see if he could find a church or someplace where they got a shed. We need to put measures in it so that we could just stage those measures. I mean, today I went to Milton to pick up inventory, went to Dover to drop it off in our warehouse, and then came back to our Dagsboro warehouse to drop stuff off there. So we're just constantly moving these measures. We did 188 homes last month alone based on referrals we're getting from Delmarva Power through Energize Delaware. This doesn't happen unless Energize Delaware is in the mix, because that's where the funding's coming from. Energize Delaware is making this entire program happen for us, okay? And then, all right, so this community, this clearinghouse concept, it's missed. We need to do a better job of identifying Matt and what his needs are so that we can then, in a very simple, fast way, get you into the pipeline, Matt, so you can get other benefits of program services, because we've already vetted you in the very beginning. And then do that in a simple way. We provided you with a QR code on one of the documents I gave you just so you could see how this would work. but we could do a much, much better job of bringing a whole bunch more people in and using this safe neighborhood project to be able to do that, I think is the way to do it. Again, that performance benchmark report will tell you how many people we were able to qualify and move into these different programs. That's our report card, right? At the end of a month, we got to know how many people we've identified, installed measures, qualified, and moved into other programs. The higher that number, the bigger the score the city has. Right, that concludes my remarks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any questions or comments from council?
Yes,
Vice Mayor?
you do incredible work, first off. There are so many people on a waiting list for the Community Development Block Grant, where some of these projects that you're identifying could be of help.
Yep.
I don't know whether, if there's any confidentiality, whether we could get a hold of the county to see what that waiting list is, to provide you a list of candidates
Yep.
that identify for either weatherization or energy efficiency or security help.
Yep.
Most of these candidates that are on the list are in disadvantaged neighborhoods. So I think it could be a lot of fruit on the vine, so to speak, for you in that respect.
So that's connecting the dots. And the more we can do that, the more we can connect these dots between the block grant, county block grant effort, what's happening with weatherization, what's happening with the heating or the summer cooling, what's happening with home performance and assisted home performance. We know all those programs. We're just not connecting the dots as the best way we possibly can. This clearinghouse is a perfect opportunity for us to then blend the need and the way to transmit that need into those people that have the funding as service providers. So yeah, I'd be excited to find
Yeah,
out.
the block grant waiting list is years long, so
Yeah.
if you could, offer some services that could help during the delay, that would be awesome.
Yeah, the services would be the ones that are around this scope, right? The weatherization and how long it takes for them to get there, or any of those other emergency repair services, But look, so I found 16 people in this organization that have unconditional love for people they don't know. It's just an amazing experience. So if we can't, and we notify, and they can't, we'll find some way. We'll do everything we can to find some way.
Any additional questions or comments from council?
Come on, you gotta have something.
You gotta have something.
No, I just want to make the comment that you do fantastic work, like Councilman Henderson said. I just appreciate everything that you're doing for our community and other communities throughout Delaware. It's a great opportunity, I think.
Thank you. Yeah, it means a lot. Because we're a street company, and it's not easy out there, especially this temperature. But there are people out there today that are doing this work. So what I will tell you is that this is a perfect city, Matt, to be able to craft this kind of a solution in a way that could really be repurposed anywhere else in the state.
Hear, hear. I like what you said at the beginning, get the band back together. Because this is where it started. Right?
Yes,
This is
exactly.
where it started. So you've done a lot of good, not just in the city of Seaford, but towns and cities beyond our borders. But I'm glad that you're back here. I appreciate the fact that you guys have a heart for Seaford and you want to help. So thank you.
Yeah.
Mine too.
That's awesome.
All right. If there are no additional questions or comments from council, at this time I'll accept the motion.
Mr. Mayor, Councilman Holland, I make the motion to accept the request from Mr. Charles T. Kessler, Executive Director of the Help Initiative Incorporated, and to approve the City of Seaford's participation in the Project Safe Neighborhoods Program as presented.
We have a motion from Councilman Holland. Is there a second?
Councilman Quillen, I will second that.
I have a second from Councilman Quillen. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Passes unanimously. Thank you very much.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you.
At this time, we'll move on to new business number 2, and I believe Ms. Kathy Anger is up.
Yep, and council has in their packet a request from Kathy Anger, our customer service coordinator, to set formal real estate tax appeals to city council on February 10th, 2026 from 7 p.m. till 8 p.m. Just to comment, the charter says council acting in this capacity needs to be all members present, so will everyone be able to be here to the best of their knowledge?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. And Ms. Anger's here to answer any questions council might have.
It's that time of year again. We're preparing
back.
for the upcoming tax rolls. So we just want to give the community a chance to come in and request a reassessment if they think that their property's not valued appropriately.
10-4. Are there any questions from the council? Vice Mayor?
In light of the controversy regarding county reassessment, do you think there should be some energy spent on clarifying that this is just for city appeals and not for county appeals,
I can.
to avoid the confusion?
It's an excellent point,
It
Vice
is
Mayor.
a-
Thank
that
you
is
for
a good
doing
point.
that. Thank you for starting that.
Or we'll need more than an hour.
Certainly, I can put that information in. I send a letter out to anybody who, well, anybody qualifies, but anyone who has had their property revalued within the last year, whether they've done some type of improvements on the property, I send them a letter so they know that it's specifically City of Seaford, and then we also advertise it in the newspapers and put it out on Facebook.
Yeah, when it's advertised, I mean, there's been, I mean, it's still a controversy in Newcastle County, so.
True.
I think it would, within everyone's sphere of influence, would be beneficial to the residents or the property owners to communicate that this is just for city, because you could have a line out the door
Absolutely,
for people who just have county issues.
absolutely.
That's a good point. Any additional questions or comments from council? If there are none at this time, I'll accept the motion.
Councilman Holland, Mr. Mayor, I make the motion to approve the recommendation from Kathy Anger, Customer Service Coordinator, to set the formal real estate tax appeals to the City Council for February 10th, 2026, from 7 p.m. until 8 p.m.
We have a motion from Councilman Holland. Is there a second?
Councilwoman Grassett, I second.
We have a second from Councilwoman Grassett. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Passes unanimously. Thank you, Ms. Anger.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy.
Thank you. Thank you.
At this time, is there any old business?
No, sir, there is not.
All right, let's move over to the reminder of meetings.
We only have one. It's the municipal election, Saturday, April 18th, between the hours of 7 a.m. and 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. As council is aware, there are one mayor seat for a 2-year term up for election and 2 council member seats for 3-year terms. Just like to add, Vice Mayor Dan Henderson, Councilman Mike Bradley, and Mayor Matt McCoy have filed for re-election. All candidates must be filed by 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Friday, February 27th. That is all that I have, sir.
All right. At this time, I'd like to move over to liaison reports, and we'll begin with Code, Parks and Recreation, and Councilwoman Stephanie Grassett.
And I have been ill, so I hope my voice holds out. First of all, I'll start with the Code Department. 2026 rental renewals are being processed, as well as license renewals for plumbers, septic haulers, and trash vendors. Those are being processed as well. They have been out doing violation inspections throughout the city, and I would like to remind everyone in this time of snowy weather that the City of Seaford residents are responsible for clearing off the sidewalk in front of their home or business. The city certainly does not come around and clean all sidewalks in the city. We are responsible for those in front of our houses. School has a delay tomorrow, which means kids are going to be walking to school. So if we can try to make a little extra effort to get out there and clean up as much as we can, so that the large number of students that walk to school can do so safely. As far as project statuses, going to update just a couple. Bel Air, single family, the homes have been completed. They did find an issue with the testing of the last sewer line. They're working on fixing that before we end up completely wrapped up there in Bel Air. KRM is working on the first lease for storage space in the Western Sussex Business Campus. The Nylon Capital permits are ready to go for the front building shell spaces. Building construction has been continuing in the Tidal Health and Del Tech areas, as well as the mill. If you've been by Mod Wash, the building is now up. The exterior facade installation has started. They're working on the interior as well. In Governor's Grant Phase 4, utility installation is complete. The lots have been graded and 2 homes are now under construction. As far as Aldi, the plans have been approved by DelDOT. We are waiting for some additional approvals, and so that we can go ahead and issue the permit. Cookout, same situation. Final revised plans have returned and been approved. They are still working on their architectural plans for submission. And as we discussed in the last meeting, the property of the Seaford Inn was scheduled to go to settlement today. Right? Today, 126 or today,
Today or
27?
yesterday.
So we are waiting anxiously to hear from the new owner what his plans are for that to avoid demolition of the property. As far as parks and recreation, first of all, in our parks, all of the holiday decorations have been taken down. They've removed the old anchors at the softball fields, working on drainage there, cleaning up loose limbs and trimming bushes, and they were out and about working on snow, as we all have been. Actually, I'm lying. I didn't go out and work on snow. My husband did. As far as recreation, our assistant recreation director attended a summit in Orlando, Florida, learning more about RCX Sports, which is a platform we'll be using for our sports programs. We have youth soccer registration going on, and youth basketball is underway. We have also had, the superintendent has had meetings starting to plan with Seaford tomorrow, the 2026 Friday Night Live concerts and sponsorships, working with football fields, football organizations on field rentals, working on the grant project of installing railing and benches along the Riverwalk, and again, coordinating snow schedules for the Parks Department. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Councilwoman Grassett. We'll move over to Police and Fire, and Vice Mayor Dan Henderson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have communications from Fire Chief Matt Reed and Police Chief Kraft. Starting out with the Fire Department, there's total responses to date, which was yesterday, or actually probably the day before, 418 calls to date for an average of 16.07 calls per day. Under significant incidents, all of these incidents that are listed were outside of the city limits. Some of them were mutual aid responses. Apparatus status, engine 87-2 has been moved to reserve status, and it will be listed for sale next month. You might recall that the fire department has purchased a new engine, and it will be arriving in the next few months and commissioned sometime this spring. Is that right?
I believe that to be
April or
correct,
May?
yes, sir.
And Chief Reed explained that the engine is being moved to reserve status because it's starting to break down quite a bit, and the costs to keep it up are increasing. So it's going to be listed for sale in hopes that it's out of the engine bay before the new truck comes, because they are out of room in the firehouse. So, and that was another topic that was discussed. So E87-2 will be moved to second or third run status. Engine B87, or ambulance B87, is out of service due to a bad blower motor causing no heat in the cab. And the last training was Wednesday the 21st for forcible entry, and the next training is on February 18th at 1900 hours, man versus machine. One thing you'll notice here is a change. You'll see a pie chart, a graphic illustration of the training. I thank Chief Reed for that, but he would not take credit for it. It's the result of a new type of reporting system that they've adopted. So you might recall that Chief Wilson had a graph showing totals, and this new reporting system shows it more graphically and with a pie chart, and you can blow it up, expand it to see all the details of it at your leisure. Emergency medical services and career services, EMT Corps and Dietz has completed EMT FTO process. EMT MJ Butler has completed his EMT FTO process. Firefighter EMT James Durr has completed 4 years of service. Congratulations to James. Firefighter EMT Elena Straits, Louis D'Onofrio, and Robert Helsel have completed 1 year of service. So the department's becoming successful at retaining talented help. The hiring process for full-time firefighter EMTs closing on January 30th, and 6 qualified applicants so far, hiring to fill 1 vacant position. So that's a sign of healthy interest in employment at the fire department. So that's really good. And there was some discussion during the meeting about improved culture and morale at the department. So that was very encouraging to hear that. Under news and events, the snow event over the weekend of January 23rd and 26th, they were involved with that response. There is a winter storm operational plan attached to this. It's pretty in-depth. I wanted you, the council, and the public to be able to review it to see just what went in, just how detailed their plan was for the response to this storm. They were very well prepared. And 14 volunteers staffed the fire apparatus at the station for a total of 283 hours, not including the scheduled duty chief. So that was the extent of the response to man the firehouse for the event. Moving on to the police department with Chief Kraft's report, you'll see that we're into a new year, and the numbers are drastically lower than the previous periods, and that's just because we're at the start of the year. You'll also notice that we have a longer period of reporting from January 1st to January 25th, so that covers several weeks, almost 4 weeks. So you may see that some of these numbers are a little bit larger than other periods or normal periods where we go through every 2 weeks. So don't be alarmed at some of these numbers, because they are skewed by the length of time that the report covers. You'll see the total under all crimes, felony, misdemeanor, violation, civil, and other, for a 90% clearance rate. You'll notice that this clearance rate is much higher, 3 to 4% higher than previous periods, which is a sign of success for the department. We'll move on down to, well, there's the crime view stats that you can expand and make it larger so that you can see the time and the days of the week and the time of day that the department is responding to these complaints. There were 23 drug crimes, 21 arrests, 2 prosecution decline, and 1 overdose that the department, the police department, responded to during this period. Under traffic, there's 339 traffic contacts resulting in 240 citations and 58 warnings, 3 DUIs, 2 crash-related, 46 crashes during this period. And that's a large number. So just be assured that that we're talking about almost 4 weeks and not the normal 2. No fatal injuries, 5 injury accidents, and it looks like they were all on public streets. Looks like they were all on public streets. There were 16 non-reportable and 25 reportable accidents. And then under additional information, 7 hit and runs, some on private property, and some on city streets. There was 1 bicycle-related accident or incident, and 2 alcohol or drug-related crashes, as previously stated. You'll see the crime view data with the volumes on the days of the week and the times of day. There are many significant incidents during this period, which I'll let you peruse at your leisure. The administration was quite busy over the period, attending several events, notably on the 5th of January. Staff attended the funeral of Corporal Delaware State Police Corporal Snook, whose life was ended in the line of duty. There are lots of other meetings. There was police applicant interviews, the weather preparedness meetings, opioid settlement distribution grant meeting with the chief, and the city storm response staff meeting. Lots of ongoing community events such as the Food On program that Mr. Kiss, the Help Initiative, is involved with. The chief attended the MLK celebration at St. John's, Martin Luther King celebration event at St. John's, and there was community engagement sledding. I don't know if you saw the post on Facebook where the kids were sliding down the hill and with the assistance of the men in gray. So, under training, the Spirit Team training continues twice a month. The Dover Police Academy began Sunday. We have 3 recruits in there. Unfortunately, 1 is injured. Chief, did he return back to?
Yes, sir. He's on the line of duty status.
Okay, thank you. He was injured, but he's still in the academy, so he's on light duty and he continues his training. We got some upcoming CPR training. It's a mandatory department-wide training on the 12th, 14th, and 20th. That happened. So that's everybody's all trained up now. At the bottom, that's going to conclude the report. At the bottom, you'll see the operational plan that the fire department put together, and want to thank the department for their outstanding response over the period. There was responses under very difficult conditions, so we appreciate their continued efforts. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Going to move over to administration and Councilman Orlando Holland.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. He met with Help Initiative to discuss a potential assistance program for Seaford residents, which was presented tonight and was approved unanimously. And they met with Atkins Management for the quarterly golf course meeting. And they were helping and preparing for the weekend winter storm planning. And the IT van has arrived and is currently being set up. And attended various other meetings and events, and all the work was routine. That concludes my report, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councilman. Going to move over to Electric Department and Councilman Mike Bradley.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The Electric Department helped take down the Christmas tree in Gateway Park. There were 2 transformers installed in the Seaford Innovation Center, one for Tidal Health and South. They installed a street lamp on Locust, and I have one behind me, and the LED lights are quite effective. Prepped all equipment for the storm. We dodged a bullet on this one. I'm actually waiting for ads on Marketplace for local sales of bread and milk. Greg Brooks report.
Generators, too.
Well, it did get a little out of hand. Met at Seaford Innovation Center about transformer pad specifics and temporary feed for existing services. He did an estimate for Eastern Shore Metals for a 480-volt upgrade, including discussion with the First State Crane to set the transformer in place. Contacted Solar Edge to have 2 communication modules replaced. And the little bitty modules, but guess what? It has dropped our production down on that panel by about 25%, and worked on 2 solar applications. On a sidebar, a group of us met in here on Friday to have a discussion with our state representative about the what would I call it, the center on the highway.
Yeah, it's there is a name for it, Seaford Business Park?
Yes, and to do some clarification. We had about an hour and a half long conversation, and I think it led to a lot of clarity. That ends my report.
I would agree. Councilman, thank you so much. Going to move over to Public Works and Wastewater Treatment Facility, and Councilman Alan Quinlan.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'll start with Public Works. Repaired parking bumpers at Seropolis Park. Currently repairing a coolant leak on truck number 4. Camera sewer lateral on Boulevard and camera Dover Street sewer lines. Replaced 4-inch Orangeburg line that services 3 houses on Dover Street. Repaired all equipment for the snowstorm and loaded salt spreaders. Bryan Streets for the snow. Snow plow crews were out for 19 and a half hours clearing city streets during the storm, so kudos to them getting all the streets cleared for our residents here in Seaford. They did an excellent job. All other routine tasks were completed. Moving over to wastewater treatment and facility and compost. Plant performance is good. Dewatering is decent. All quarterly and annual reports were submitted. Replacing a bearing on the waste activate sludge pump. Repaired wiring onto the west grid collector. Pre-construction meeting for the Headworks upgrade meeting was completed. Completed street sampling for the Water Street location, and moved old efficient sampler to Adobe for sampling. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Councilman. I'd like to echo your sentiments. Just want to thank all of our departments out there who are in those conditions. Very thankful because Most of us are bunkering down our home, trying to stay warm, and are out there in the conditions, so we appreciate all your efforts. At this time, I'd like to ask for a motion to enter into executive session for the purpose of discussing site acquisitions, sales, leases of real estate property.
Councilman Quillen, I'll make that motion.
A motion from Councilman Quillen. Is there a second?
Councilman Holland, I second that motion.
We have a second from Councilman Hahn. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay. We're going to enter into executive session. Thank you very much.